Good afternoon, people. Welcome back to Aston Dave. I'm Aston Dave, and finally the Premier League has returned, but at what cost? So, I'm going to cover a couple of points here. First off, I haven't been around for a while, as you guys probably would have noticed, according to my channel, and that's because I purely just fell out of football. I got bored of it, and I thought, you know, what's the point? I can't be bothered anymore. So I didn't bother. I didn't bother watching the games. I was like, oh, do you know what? Fuck it. I could be bothered. So I'm back for the remainder of the season. I'm going to try and get a few of these videos out while I can. If not, fuck it. So first off, it looks as if the friendly against West Brom was a 2-2 draw. Jack Grealish and Keenan Davis sealing a draw for ourselves. A stunning goal from that West Brom player, but because of the baggies, no one really cares. But still, does go to show that how leaky our defence is still. I wasn't expecting miracles, but it was nice to maybe have got a win, especially against the baggies. But they are a brilliant side at the minute. Slaven Bilic has got them playing really, really well. That is why they're more than worthy of being where they are in the Championship, and I can see them getting promoted from the Championship to the Premier League. But that's a footballing view, not a Villa view in general. Still, first off, what do you think is going to happen for the first game against Sheffield United? I personally think it's going to be a bore draw. I think both teams are going to be very tentative going forward, not really going to want to leave themselves too exposed to the back. But through the season, I think us, Villa, have been a bit withdrawn anyway. I think sometimes we have moments where we're pure brilliant, then sometimes you think, what the fuck is going on here? Like, what was that? Who are you again? You know what I mean? So, that is my view on the game against Sheffield United, which will be next the 17th. I think it's next Wednesday, 6 o'clock kickoff. And I think the first game, other than us as well, I might be wrong. I think it's Man City Arsenal. I'm not too sure. That will be a good game as well. But needless to say, the next game after that would be a tough one as well against Newcastle. Not only do we want to get one over on Stevie Bruce again, but it's Newcastle, another bogey team, I find. And then we've got Chelsea, and then a big game against Wolves. And everybody knows we want to do the Wolves because, well, it's the Dingles really, and no one likes the Dingles. So, first real main topic through this is, what have you guys been doing sports-wise through lockdown? The fact of the matter is, we've been in lockdown. Well, not me. I've been working through lockdown as I'm a dustman. And I've been working through this and seeing the pure idiocracy and the pure fucking, like, I don't know what to say that's not going to make me sound like a complete dickhead. Well, it's nice to see that the British people are not giving a fuck now, really. Many countries are on lockdown, actually listened to lockdown. Over here, it just seems like the millennials, like the children, were like, you know what, fuck this, I'm going to go out. Yeah, no, brilliant, that's fantastic. My girlfriend was locked up for like over 12 weeks because she was on the vulnerable list. Many of my family couldn't go out. Many of my friends couldn't go out. My friends' families and stuff couldn't go out. But yeah, it's okay because we've got students on the streets placarding, oh, fuck the EU, oh, it's all because of the 5G, oh, it's because of this. No, it's not that. It was a pandemic. You know, this is for real. You know what I mean? Thousands and thousands of people have died from this. So, that led to another rant, which I'm not going to go into because it will land me in hot bother. So, and I don't particularly want that. I have my own views. I keep them to myself. I don't see the point of getting involved. I just go with the flow. That's just generally how it is. But what have you guys been doing in lockdown? What sports have you looked into? What have you actually done hobby-wise? What have you done to pass the time to get to this moment where you're watching me on here moan about stuff and the next Villa game like I did in my previous videos. So I, for instance, love Bundesliga football. I'm also a fan and a follower of Schalke 04. And I have been from a young age, more because of my dad. My dad was in the army. He was stationed out in Germany. I am an army brat. I was born in the British Military Hospital in Munster. Some of you know that already, some of you don't. But, you know, so my old man said to me, I actually like watching, keep an eye out for Schalke. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to keep an eye out as well. And it was a toss-up between Schalke 04 and Borussia Dortmund. And I was a little bit drawn to Dortmund, but I thought my old man liked Schalke. And I pretty much liked most of the stuff my old man liked, and anyway, we have the same interests and stuff and same likes, so that kind of pushed me more towards Schalke 04. And plus, I loved the name, I loved their history, I loved their heritage, and I just loved the way they sound. I mean, Schalke, it just puts the fear of God into you, rather than say like Hull, you know what I mean, like Hull FC. And it's like, yeah, no, brilliant. That strikes the fear into the local panda morgue, nowhere to be seen other than the other side of the world. So, you know, I kind of watched a lot of the Bundesliga. That was more quite recently, but before that, I was kind of, I mean, I play guitar, so I did a lot of music over the last few weeks. But I mean, primarily I've been working. I'm a dustman, as I said, so I've been working. So I kind of haven't had much chance to sit down and just chill out. I mean, I had a few days off the other day, and literally sod's law, the time I get 3 days off to spend with my girlfriend, her work phone will say, oh, we're back open now, you can come back to work if you want. And she's like, fuck me, you know what I mean? It's saying, it was time to get off to be with you. Now she's gone back to work. It's only been 12 weeks, but she's finally back. So, and I think the country is slowly but surely getting back to normal, which now brings me on to my next subject, being normal. Jack Grealish. For the love of God, why, man? Why? That's all I'm going to say. And I think you guys know what I mean when I say why. There's a lot of people out there. And do you know what? I think I'm being a little bit too harsh on Jack Grealish. Well, actually, no, I'm not being a little bit too harsh on him. I think I'm being under harsh on him. I think because he is meant to be our leader. He's meant to be our captain. He's meant to be captaining our team. It's his boyhood club. He loves the claret and blue. He loves Villa. But yet, does everything he can on his off time, spare time, to go play with his friends. Yeah, no, brilliant. You know what I mean? If my mate phoned me up and said, here, Dave, do you want to pop round? Yeah, got a bit of FIFA and I go, a bit of COD. Oh, by the way, it's on a lockdown. You're not meant to go out. Do you want to come round and go? Nah, do you know what, bruv? I'm not going to come out. Purely because before I come out, I work with people that are on the front line. Therefore, I can't come out. I'm going to stay indoors. All right, we'll keep in touch. We'll just go online because that's what we do now. We don't speak to anybody anymore. We go online. Yeah, no, I do all my shopping online as well because we're trying to put the high street out of business. Yeah, all right, look, shit, I'm on a video, man. I'm actually leaving my bosh. That's what I've done. Nah, but Jack Grealish has gone, all right, Bab, I'm just going to go out to the shop, get more beer because Tony down the road has said I want to go around and play on the computer with him because that's kind of what you do in a lockdown. Yeah, nah, brilliant. Brilliant. Fucking brilliant. That's also the same as Declan Rice going out to the field to play football with Mason Mount, and also the same as the Spurs players going out for a run in the park, but nothing kind of got said, really. But I think it's more the fact that obviously we highlight it more because we're Villa fans, so therefore we look for our own kind of news. But obviously what's come out of this is, it just goes to show how stupid people can be. I'm not just picking out celebrities for a laugh or whatever. I'm saying it because it just shows the idiocracy of some people. You've been told by the leader of the country to not stay in, but to stay in. But if you can work and go on the public store, you can't do this, you can't do this. Well, that makes no sense, Boris, you know what I mean? But let's rewind it with. He said you can't go out. 1 hour exercise. So why was you out in your car with a flip-flop and a slider? Get me, Jack. And then your piss poor apology on social media. Oh, my friend asked me to go out. I did something really stupid, so therefore I went out. You fucking thick, man. Seriously, you're a role model to so many people out there, right? People look up to you. People look up to their football idols. I used to look up to many a football player, and then on the football pitch only. So there's one player in particular, football pitch only, because in his spare time he liked to play, beat the missus up. But that's completely different. I mean, but I also met this guy as well, and I was fucking so happy. And my favourite player, and people are going to go, oh, you're fucking this. My favourite player, and one I used to look up to, was Stan Collymore. And I loved Stan Collymore as a player. I thought he was fucking fantastic. I used to love watching him play. And he was the reason why I become number 11. I also have many other idols as well. I used to think Juan Pablo Angel was brilliant. Gabby Bonlahor is by far my hero as well. I've always loved watching Gabby Bonlahor. So much so my girlfriend actually went to his fan club and bought me a signed picture, which is framed on my wall. And I don't deserve any other player. He's one of these players that when I first went to my first ever Aston Villa game, his name was on the programme. And I went down the programme. It was Villa versus Man United. And I was 13 years old. And I was sitting in the gods in Holt End. And I went, how do you pronounce this, Dad? And he went, I don't know. He says, Agbonahor. And trying to hear my dad talk in general was quite funny. But when he was trying to read out Agbonahor, I just kept going, nah, I still don't know what that says. And he did it about 6-7 times. And bearing in mind, when my dad gets back up to the Midlands, his accent becomes broader. So when he's down in Essex, you can have a chat with him. Get back up there, it's like, yeah, no, Dad, you've lost me a little bit. I do feel like I'm adopted at some point along this bloodline, but still, we have a laugh about it. There's a running joke that I am actually adopted, which my real father lives in Scotland apparently, according to my mother. But still, that's a family joke. It's been going on for donkey's years, and people that are close to me, people that are close to my family will know the joke. And it's been going on for all of 33 years. So still, going forward, so that was the lockdown covered. I've had my rant about lockdown. Right, going forward, John McGinn coming back. I am super hyped for him coming back. I think he's a brilliant player, and I hope that his injury doesn't flare up again. I mean, it's a nasty injury to get a fractured ankle. You may as well just broke it and been over and done with. Probably would have set quicker, but a fracture, a hairline fracture, or any kind of fracture to a bone, it is annoying because you can already fix it. It has to fix itself. I've done my thumbs, I've done fingers, I've done my ankle, I've hyperextended ligaments on my knee, I've done all sorts. So my mum used to take me quite regularly out to hospital with things that were either twisted wrong, something that needed something repairing. So there is that, and that was all through football. So football injuries as such, and one of them was actually playing over the field, having a kick at with my brother actually. And that's quite a funny story. I went to go kick the ball, boshing it back too far, and my finger hit the ground like that, and bent in all kind of directions, and fuck me, did it hurt. Yes, it did, to the point where I was laugh crying. It was that good. And my brother went, I can't take you anywhere. I was like, well, I'm your brother, you're gonna have to take me home at some point. Still, moving on. What do you guys think is going to happen for the first game of the season? As I said before, I think it's going to be a ball draw. I may have asked this question already, but we're a little bit further into this video than I thought. But still, going forward, well, let's recap on the questions. What do you guys think is going to happen the first game of the season? What have you been doing sports-related wise through lockdown? What do you think is going to happen with John McGinn, as he is our major influence back in the midfield, and thank Christ he is back? And fourth is, where do you think we're going to end up in the table now that we're playing behind closed doors and there's going to be no atmosphere there at all? the broadcasters are on about putting the sound on as an option for us to hear, but all you're going to hear is Villa, 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 and you think, I want to hear a la 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 like once or twice. It's kind of getting on my tits a little bit, because I'm driving at work, and all of a sudden I'll be like, every week we follow the boys in Clapham. Then they'll be like, where the fuck that come from? I don't know, it wasn't even on the radio, it just popped into my head. But that's because I think in my mind and psychologically, I'm going back to a time where I was happy at football, and it involved that song quite a lot. The same as the Gabby Bonahor song. You know, Gabby Bonahor, you know, that one. That kind of brings back memories as well. But I think personally we're going to end up just above relegation. I think we're going to nick points where we need to nick points. I think I think Sheffield United is going to be a board rock. I think Sheffield United they're going to play for. We're both going to want to play for the win. So it's going to be very open the whole game. But I think because it's the first real game back of the season, I think there's going to be a lot of mistakes, not only from just individuals, but I think as a team. I think it's all right having these friendlies, but I don't think friendlies really prove anything. Or it's just to get that fitness back up. It's because you're like, oh fuck it, it's just a kick about, you know, bosh, you know, Pepe Reina, oh fuck, it's gone in again, shocker. But still, you know, this kind of stuff hopefully will iron itself out. So, on the flip side of this, going through the rest of the season, I think we're going to get better. I'd like to see a lot more Keenan Davis. I'd like to see him play a lot, because he is being looked at by other clubs. It's come out quite recently that he's been looked at from abroad. So if we lose him, it will be a shame. But is it just a case of waiting for Weza to get back fully fit to play, or is it a case of we kind of owe him something? I don't know. I don't really follow it that too much into depth, but I kind of would like to see him have a lot more involvement for the last part of the season, to get some game time really, and plus we can get a few more quid for him. That also might help. I think Jack Grealish is gone in his head. I think he's gone. I think he's gone to United, but they have come out and said it all depends if they get relegated or not. So he's going to want to play his bollocks off to stay up, and then he will go, oh, fancy a new challenge, actually. I want to find some more friends in Manchester to break the lockdown rules with. Yeah, no, so that's going to happen. But yeah, so I think we're at the end of the video. I think I've covered a few points. These are longer videos. This is a longer video than I've done before, purely because it's the first one back after a long time. I've had a lot of things. There's a lot of other topics we've covered as well, like lockdowns, you know, rants and raves and stuff. But most importantly, I'm glad that there's people out there that have just kept level-headed through this. Listen to the government, listen to our peers, and listen to the rules that have been set in place to stay safe. Therefore, reducing the likelihood of a second wave, a second spike. I'm looking forward to football being back where there's a crowd. That would be quite nice, rather than just pretending that I'm in the crowd playing FIFA and getting my arse whooped by a 10-year-old from the other side of the world who's doing all the fucking tricks and shit, and I'm just doing chop, chop, chop. So yeah, that would be quite interesting. Kind of just looking forward to watching football again, man. Be pretty good. I mean, as I said, I love the Schalke. I love watching Bundesliga football, but obviously I'm never going to lose love with Villa. It'd be good just to see it again. So what are your thoughts? Put them in the comments below. If you've not already, please just subscribe, like, whatever you want to do, share. If you don't like it, then I don't give a fuck, really. But these are my opinions, my thoughts, my views and comments only. I've not been influenced or told to do so by anybody else. I merely just read stuff, and then I have a thought, and then I put it on here. So, if you guys want to see more videos about the Villa going forward, then please put a comment below as well. If you don't, then, well, you got to the end of the season, and then I'll hang the recording bits up. But other than that, peace, love, I look forward to seeing the first result against Sheffield United, and then therefore we'll have another video and then we'll have a chat about it. Peace. Take care, people.